the woman with the issue of blood. See, she had no name in the story, no title, no honor, just a condition, bleeding, not for a week, not for a month, not even for a year, 12 long years. She bled, silently, shamefully, invisibly, the kind of bleeding no one sees, but everyone avoids. She was unclean, they said, untouchable, unworthy. She couldn't enter the temple. She couldn't sit close to loved ones. She couldn't be hugged, held, or healed by human hands. Can you imagine that? 12 years of being alive but never embraced. 12 years of pain. Physical, yes, but deeper still. Pain that pierced the soul. Wounds that bled behind the smile. Agony dressed in silence. She tried everything. Every physician. Every friend's recommendation. Every last coin. Every last ounce of hope. The Bible says in Mark 5 verse 26, she had suffered a great deal under the care of many doctors and had spent all she had. Yet instead of getting better, she grew worse. She wasn't just bleeding from her body, she was bleeding from her identity. Have you ever bled like that? Maybe not physically, but emotionally, spiritually, socially. The kind of bleeding that doesn't stain your clothes, but it stains your self-worth. The kind that doesn't soak through your fabric, but it soaks through your soul. But then, she heard, a whisper at first, then a rustle. A name passed from one mouth to another. He's here, the healer, the one they call Jesus. And something in her, the last ember of hope, the final flicker in a dying fire, sparked. She didn't wait to be invited. She didn't ask to be seen. She didn't scream, "Heal me," in the streets. She just reached. Sometimes faith doesn't look like standing strong. Sometimes it looks like crawling on broken knees through the dust of rejection. Sometimes it looks like trembling fingers stretching past fear, past shame, past lies, just to touch what no one else believes is for you. Luke 8 verse 44 says, she came up behind him and touched the edge of his cloak, and immediately her bleeding stopped. She didn't need a miracle with fireworks. She didn't need a dramatic encounter. She didn't even need his eyes to meet hers, just his hem, because real faith doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers, it weeps, it reaches through the noise. And Jesus, the one who holds galaxies in his palm, who commands storms with his voice, who walks on waves, he stopped. Luke 8 verses 45 to 46 says, "Who touched me?" Jesus asked. "Someone touched me. I know that power has gone out from me." In a sea of people with hands all around him, he felt her. Heaven felt her. Because the world may ignore your pain, but heaven always notices your faith. She could have run. She could have hidden, like she'd been doing for over a decade. But she came forward, shaking, tears spilling down her face. A story too painful to tell, but too powerful to hold back. She knelt at his feet and confessed everything. And Jesus didn't rebuke her. He didn't shame her. He didn't say, "You should have asked first." He looked at her, really looked. And then he said the words that healed far more than her body. Luke 8 verse 48. "Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace." Daughter, not unclean, not outcast, not the bleeding woman. Daughter. He didn't just stop the blood. He restored her identity. He didn't just close a wound. He opened a future. Maybe today, you're the one bleeding, not with physical pain, but with a broken heart, a heavy mind, a soul weighed down by disappointments no one sees. Maybe you've prayed, and nothing changed. Maybe you've cried, and no one came. Maybe you've tried, but the bleeding won't stop. But friend, listen. Faith doesn't wait for perfect conditions. Faith doesn't need an audience. Faith doesn't even need strength. Faith presses forward, even when the shame is louder than the hope. Even when all you can do is crawl. Even when all you can touch is his hem. It's enough, because no step of faith ever goes unnoticed. No cry is too small. No whisper is too weak. So if all you have is a broken heart and a shaking hand, reach. If all you have is a whisper left in your voice, use it. If all you have is a hope you're afraid to speak, hold it. Press through, because the healer still walks by. The hem is still within reach, and he still turns to call you, daughter, son, beloved, healed. Don't stop. Keep reaching. Keep pressing, because he's still Jesus, and he still heals. And if this message touched your heart today, reach out to someone else. Someone you know is bleeding too, silently, shamefully, alone. Share this message with them. Let them know Jesus still heals. Jesus still stops, and he's still calling, daughter, son, come in peace.